for the other
Mm-hmm.
person. These
Yeah.
are really important pieces to make sure that you are still doing this with your partner so that you
Mm-hmm.
keep the spark alive. I hate that word, spark, but
It
keep that
is,
spark alive.
it is, I mean, if you think about the feeling, when you think about the feeling, at least in my perspective, when I think about the feeling that I get when my husband stands super close to me, like when we're at Disneyland, I'm one of those people, I don't like to kiss in public. I don't like to really hold hands, but I'm slowly getting around on that. It's only taking 5 to 6 to 7 years. But one thing he does is that I fucking love is when he, like that other guy I was just telling you about, is when my husband stands really, really close to me, where I can feel his chest on my back. I
Mm,
feel a charge. You feel like this
mm-hmm.
zing go through you, and then you look at your partner. You're like, oh my god, you're so hot. I think just those. If you can constantly keep that little spark going somehow, they're going to want to. Your sex life will not fizzle out. And I love what you said earlier about just touching someone's hand. I think you may have read it too, the book Body Language.
It's behind me, actually.
There you go. So I read that a few years ago, and one of my favorite chapters is, I think in the book was about dating or something that had to do with romantic cues.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a cue. Like if you want someone to know that you're into them, figure out a way to touch them somehow. And it's funny because I was reading a meme that was talking about millennials or Gen X or Z. I forget which one is under millennials, but how everyone is trying to play it cool and they don't want to seem like they're too interested because they don't want to like scare the person off. But that's kind of canceling out all the body language cues that we have used for centuries to attract a partner. We now have this new generation of people trying to like I don't know, rework the wheel or reinvent the wheel. And it just, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not saying by any means like don't have consent, but we're also talking about relationships. We're talking about you are already in a relationship with your partner. You should know what's consensual, what's not consensual. And I know that in relationships that can happen. We're not talking about those relationships. We're talking about the majority of you
Mm-hmm.
that know what your partner likes, what your partner doesn't like, and you've gotten really stuck. When we were planning this episode, we were talking about different ways that people get stuck, and a couple things that came up were letting yourself go after a while. I remember a friend of mine, as soon as she got married, she was like, yeah, she did the whole 9 yards. God, I hope she's not listening to this right now. She's going to kill me for talking about this, but she used to go all out for him as
Mm-hmm.
far as like put lingerie, and they would role play, and she had all the outfits. The second they got married, all of a sudden now she's going to bed in a sports bra and her hair in a bun and sweatpants on. And he was like, wait, what? What just happened?
That is so gross.
So I get that naturally happens over time. I get it, right?
Would you
You
sleep
can't keep it
naked
up.
with your partner?
Would I?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. Why
I
wouldn't
actually
I?
think that's the best way to sleep with your partner, honestly. If you're sleeping with, I mean, unless you have like irritable bowel syndrome, or maybe you're having your period, I don't know, maybe then you want to
Oh
put
dear God,
something
that's a
on,
whole, yeah.
but
Nope.
that's a whole different chapter. But for the most part, I think if a simple way to keep the spark alive is just to sleep in the nude every night. There's some people that are like, what if an emergency happens? Have some
Mm,
pajamas next to the fucking bed. There you
I
go.
mean, well, yeah, maybe it's different when you have kids too, to be fair. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not keen on sleeping naked. I like it depends on who I'm dating at the time. It's a tricky one for me because I would
Really?
much rather have on like a tank top and underwear. That's how I would rather sleep. I just feel a little bit more comfortable like that. And so like I did have to learn over time to realize like, look, I can't wear pajamas all the time. So I'm okay with just underwear and a tank top. That does work for me. And
Okay.
most men are really okay with that.
Okay. And how do the men sleep that you've been in relationships with in the past?
Um, a lot of them are naked sleepers.
The men are something else. They love to just, have their junk out for on display for their partner.
Yeah, it's it's pretty amusing. But like the guy
I love
that
how you scratched your head as you said it's pretty amusing.
I'm like, oh my God, how much do I share about my own personal life? Especially like if I'm actually, there was this one guy, not giving any timelines to it, but I was really surprised that he gets cold. So he wants to always have a shirt on. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
what? I don't want you to have a shirt on. And then it clicked like, oh, now I get it. When I was dating guys who all like to sleep naked. And here I am trying to put on my pajamas. And he was like, what are you doing? Take them off. Now it was a little
Ah,
bit flipped because now I was the one who was like, why are you putting a shirt on? Like, why are
yeah.
you putting an actual like long sleeve shirt back on? Like, take that off.
Wait,
I want to feel your body.
what kind of underwear do you wear when you do go to bed? Is it like the grandma underwear or is it like kind of
No man
like
sees me in grandma underwear. No
I would
man.
hope fuck so. But is it like sexy underwear?
Yeah. So women have most women have an array of underwear in their
Hmm.
underwear drawer, right? We have our period underwear. Those are the grandma underwear.
Hmm.
We don't care what they look like because nobody's ever going to see us in them
Hmm.
because we feel like shit during that time
Yeah,
anyways.
and it keeps
But
shit
then we
in.
have, yeah, then we have our sexy underwear, but we also have underwear for different outfits because you have to take into consideration that dresses, skirts, pants, shorts. Sometimes you need underwear that don't show,
Hmm.
that are seamless. Sometimes you need a thong with certain outfits so that you don't see a panty line. So we have to have like all these little multiple options in our underwear drawer for different occasions. If I'm in bed with a guy, he's getting the sexy shit. He's getting what he likes. If he likes me in a thong, I'm in a thong. If he likes the cheeky, I'm in the cheeky. What he
Okay.
likes is what he gets. Like
And do
for
you
me,
keep that
that's,
up? Do you maintain that for like however the duration of the relationship is, or?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Is
why
this
not?
something that he can easily move aside if he wanted to, let's say, at 1 a.m., fuck you? Is that something he can easily push aside, or is that something he has to fight with?
I don't think underwear are fighting, like they're easy. Like all underwear should be easy access, really, if
Oh,
that's all you're
okay.
wearing, right?
Okay.
So women's underwear is different from men's. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
you
I know
guys,
that.
yours is tighter. Ours is fairly loose, or at least it should be if you're wearing the right size underwear.
That's kind of true. It's just interesting when you like, I think back on like certain scenarios where a girl will come over to a guy and she's like, oh, I'm not wearing any underwear. And he instantly gets like, aroused by that idea. So I was just thinking, for like a couple, would it be more arousing for the guy to know that your your
Not
pussy
wearing
is
any.
always available and there for him at any moment? He doesn't have to fight with anything in a way to get, because there have been some times where things have happened at 1 a.m. and it's kind of hot, and I think,
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah,
There's
I think,
definitely, mhm.
yeah, I think a straight guy would probably like that too. Most likely, he would probably like that.
They absolutely do. I think they absolutely do.
It is an
And
invitation to fuck you at 2 a.m. That's
yeah,
basically what that is.
for sure. It's a
Yeah.
much easier access. And I'm not saying like don't do it and that I don't do it. I absolutely like will make sure that especially early into the relationship, like
Hmm.
always want to have that easy access, right? But
Yeah.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
eventually as the relationship progresses, more clothes end up being on for sure.
Ah,
I think a lot of people do.
no, I think I personally feel, and I've said it before, because I mean, you know what I do and what I post online. You should always make an effort. I think